Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. It's a promo Friday today on FC25 once again, and as we've discussed, we know what's coming. The second week of this UEFA Dreamchasers promo, and well, it doesn't look that exciting all around. We do have some leaks that we have to discuss today, guys, with some SBCs, none as big as Hullet, but the real question I have is, just like last weekend, can evolutions carry the torch? Can this be what carries this Dreamchasers promo, just like last weekend where we had some great evolutions? And did a store player pick that dropped yesterday just confirm one of the Evos that we're going to be getting during UEFA Dreamchasers Team 2? Let's get you guys ready for a big promo Friday and what's going to happen all throughout. If you're excited for it, drop a thumbs up and, of course, subscribe if you are new. Now, as we get into things today, let's take a look back really quickly at yesterday's really quiet day of Thursday content on FC25. Firstly, where EA started giving back packs randomly from a mistake that they made 2 months ago. If you guys remember, the Team of the Year Crafting Upgrade SBC was released during Team of the Year without the corresponding objective, and EA yesterday finally got around to giving back packs to people who completed the SBC without getting any objective rewards in that downtime where there was a mistake. And the real interesting thing about it is they compensated people with tradable packs. It was like 11 gold player packs with a few rares inside of the pack, which, of course, if you know anything about crafting objectives in SBCs, there's never any tradable packs. So that was really interesting, but we had to mention because EA maybe dropped some packs in your account yesterday. Also, that same EA account tweeted that you can now use loan cards in Rush. Interesting fact, they've changed the game a little bit there. Except right now in Rush, you can only use Premier League cards because that's the only mode that is out. Kind of restrictive. Hopefully they add some new modes today. But let's get to the content from yesterday where we had another really cheap player SBC in the name of Angelino. 5-star skills, 4-star weak foot, and the best part is he is just 3 squads, 82, 83, and 83 rated squads. The most annoying part here is that you need 2 Team of the Weeks, but if you need a 90 rated fodder card or just one Angelino for the card that he is, that is virtually free to get done. Of course, yesterday as well, we had the weekly refresh of marquee matchups here for a tradable mega pack. But guys, that was all the content that we had yesterday. It was a very slow day, and honestly, sometimes those days are good to catch up on things inside of this game. But what I want to focus in on was something that yesterday also reminded us of. Well, specifically, this card for me reminded us of is that Fantasy FC cards are back in action because club football is back after international break is over, and that means these cards are still chasing some upgrades, and not just chasing, also achieving. This 89 Fermin is getting 2 upgrades this coming Monday when fantasies normally get upgraded. He's getting a playstyle plus added to his card for assisting the 3rd Barca goal yesterday. He also is getting a 99 face stat because Barca scored 3 goals, putting him over the 10 club goal requirement that he needed there. So 99 face stat for Fermin, but also a playstyle plus added, and also still one more game this weekend against Girona that could mean he gets a +1 overall and a 5-star skill move boost. Yes, that's true, because if he does not get a yellow or red card, he's going to a 90 rated card with 3 upgrades in total, hitting his card on Monday when fantasies will be deserving of them. I say all this not to make you want to invest in Fermin's card, but more so to take a look at other fantasy cards like Alphonso Davies or maybe Darwin Nunez, who have games upcoming this week or next week whose prices are kind of needing to be watched again because they've got potential upgrades on the line, and that's something that could make their prices move on the market. I think some of them are already moving up, but just a good reminder that Fantasy FC cards, mostly from Team 2. Team 1 fantasy cards have played all their games, not live anymore. Team 2 still have some games left, like Rodrigo for Madrid as well. So just take a look at those cards in the market and any of them that may interest you, and also consider evolving if you want to try to do some funny business with a card that's going to get an upgrade and potentially could fit an evolution. Try to get a couple extra boosts in there. You could look at some of those evolutions before Monday, before those cards get upgraded. Now, the last thing I want to look at from yesterday's content is in the store, and this was a player pick that we looked at in yesterday's video. It was added to the code and then dropped immediately in the game, guys. It's a 300k player pick for the Backline boost player pick here, and this one's really crazy because it's tradable. A base icon or base hero guaranteed player pick, 1 of 3, right? You get to pick one of the 3 cards that it shows up, and it's all center backs, which is really, really interesting because Backline Boost sounds a lot like Backline Boss, and that's one of the evolutions that was leaked right at the end of FUT Birthday that we are still waiting on. Backline Boss was released a couple of weeks or maybe even a month now back during, I think, Grassroots Greats. I put that on the Bombito Grassroots Greats SPC card. It was a really good evolution because it gave Anticipate Plus and some other playstyles, and a lot of people have been eagerly awaiting that evolution since it was leaked to come back to this game. Is this player pick right here hinting at the return of that evolution this weekend? It potentially could be, and we have some other Evo leaks that we need to talk about today, not necessarily specific ones, but center back Evo leaks there's a lot of rumors about them right now heading into this weekend of Dreamchasers Team 2. But this player pick plays right into those rumors because it supplies cards on the market that have been very expensive and or extinct for already existing Evos, like Rio Ferdinand. Look at his price because of this player pick, from 600,000 coins down to 300k. This guy was extinct because of Der Kaiser. Everybody wanted to put him in that Evo to get Intercept and Anticipate Plus. Look how much he dropped with the supply of this pick. Also, what I think about when I see this is EA supplying old cards from older promos or even just base versions of icons and heroes like they're doing here to help us put them back into evolutions. And I like that. I just don't like it like this. If my only chance of getting Rio and trying to get Rio is by doing a player pick like this, or maybe an old out of pack special like a Thunderstruck or a Ultimate Succession card or something like that, I don't like this. I think they should just be adding cards back into packs and re-releases like they did a lot last year. They haven't done it as much this year. They've only done, I think, what, like once or twice? If they did that more often, we would have the opportunity to Evo some of these cards that have gone extinct or really, really high in price. That's one thing I'm thinking about as I look through this here. But just to show you a couple more prices that have absolutely tanked, Yap Stam, look at the price drop, 416,000 coins down to 250k. This is not even the craziest of them all. Beckenbauer was extinct at 3 million coins for the last week that he has been added to this game. Finally, he's now 420k. Because of this player pick. So we don't know for sure if we're getting a center back Evo today, guys, but not only are those cards going down, there's some other non-icon hero center backs that are going up, like this Jonathan Tah in the past couple of days has been going crazy in price, from 85k up to 130,000 coins, over 100k multiple times. He's still there right now. There's a lot of hype and maybe pump and dumps, but there's rumors, there's speculation about more center back Evos. Again, remember last week on Friday, we had the big Der Kaiser Evo, and that really cooked center back prices. So that's one thing I want you guys to be looking out for today as we head into Dream Chasers Team number 2. Now, let's take a look at content on this Friday. Before we even get into all the Dream Chasers madness, there's actually an SBC that we're expecting today before the content drop hits, and that would be a Player of the Month. Of course, it was leaked earlier this week that La Liga Player of the Month is not Mbappe, it is Isco. Now, we have no idea what the stats of this Isco are. I don't think that's the official card. We'll probably have a leak at some point early today on Friday, but be watching out for that. Hopefully, it's a high-rated card that is pretty cheap, and hopefully it's decently usable as well. If they give him a decent stat boost and make it cheap, it could be a fun Isco Player of the Month for a deserved, well-performed month for him. So that's the first thing I want you guys to watch out for today, because that could be an SBC we see here very soon. But of course, Dream Chasers Team 1 is ending, and that means Team 2 is going to replace it. And we have the official leaks, official stats for Team 2 of Dream Chasers. Of course, it is including 3 playstyle plus icons and heroes for the higher rated ones, and the rest of the team, as it was expected, is 2 playstyle pluses. Now, some of these cards look really good. As we take a look through this team, this Thuram with Anticipate, he's got block and slide tackle, but 94 defense, 94 physical with 91 pace. He looks insane. Javi is going to be the best passer on the game with pinged, tiki-taka, and incisive, and 99 passing. That's insane. Kaká looks pretty good. You go down to the rest of the team here. Kimmich, I know he had his SBC during Team of the Year. He looks pretty good. It's a slight upgrade on that card. Diani with the quick step. She's going to be rapid quick. Van der Sar. Watch this card. The only goalkeeper in this game now with 3 playstyle pluses. The first goalkeeper with 3 playstyle pluses. They gave him pinged plus, which is interesting. But he's got 3. That's really interesting. This Kessler card looks good. Nuno Mendes with intercept looks pretty decent. Allison's getting another card. As we looked at the leaks from a couple days ago, we knew he was coming into this team. Bunny Shaw, Wendy Renard, Harry Kuehl, Cordoba, Leon Bailey's card with the quick step and the low driven plus looks pretty good. Cherokee's got technical and trickster. Harder Avila, Aitor Hernandez. Like, This Delict, I think I'm a little underwhelmed by. The Bentancur looks pretty good. Imagine having Bentancur and Archie Gray in the same team. Ooh, nice one from EA there for us Spurs fans, but this Delict is a little underwhelming for me. Kubo looks decent, finesse and low driven. Tiki Taka and finesse for Pedro. That's going to be a cheap beast card. Also weird McCabe. This team looks okay. It looks all right. There's some standouts in here, like the Van der Sar, like some of the other players, like Turan looks like a beast, you know. But of course, when it comes down to this, we know the pack weight for these cards is probably not going to be very good. I would expect them, just like we saw with Team 1, I would expect them to start very expensive. Where's that page? Right here. Remember when Harry Kane was like 2.5 million coins last week? I mean, Wanyeri was like 600, 700,000 coins. Marcus Llorente was 1.4, 1.5 mil on Promo Friday last week. These cards are going to start very expensive this week as well, so be careful buying any of them today on Promo Friday unless you're going to do a quick flip. Just be careful buying any of those cards. Now, the real news is, who are the SBCs? We've had some leaks, we've discussed them, but we have more, and we have a name that is hot off the press that would be likely a replacement for the Dembele, the non-icon SBC from last week. But firstly, we also have some news that is a little sad and unfortunate. Remember the hype, the leaks of a Brazilian icon player SBC? That is not happening. Evidently, those were fraudulent leaks because we are not getting any Brazilian icons as of right now. We're just getting 2 German icons, Muller and Lahm. Yes, there's a Philip Lahm SBC that has been teased as well, but Muller seems to be the most hype of the icons and of all the SBCs leaked so far for Dreamchasers Team 2. He's got 3 playstyle pluses, and it's an interesting looking card. At the right price, I would do this SBC because who wouldn't want a card that could finish with 3 different playstyle pluses? Power Shot, Low Driven, and Finesse. Finesse is OP. Low Driven's OP. Power Shot's not as overpowered, but it's still fun. And that's kind of a crazy set of playstyle pluses to have right there. 95 shooting, 90 dribble, 91 pace for Gerd Muller. Hopefully he's 5'5". That would be nice if they gave him that sort of boost. The real question here is, what's he going to cost? At least in my opinion, because I'm not going to do an SBC like this if it's even remotely expensive. It's got to be a fun, cheap-ish budget kind of card to want to try out. Now, it's got 3 playstyle pluses, so I can't imagine he's going to be that cheap. And Raul, who's got similar playstyle pluses, 5-star skills, and similar stats as well, is a 900,000 coin card. I hope that this Gerd Muller is like 500k as an SBC, and if he's that cheap, I will consider doing his SBC just to try him out for a handful of games, because why not? I haven't used Gerd Muller this year. That sounds kind of fun for me, but that is nowhere near the hype of the Hullet or even the Ousmane Dembele from last week's Team 1 promo team. But there is a new name that has been leaked, guys, and it's a center back. Hot off the press, Gabriel is coming as an SBC during this promo as well, which makes me potentially think this could be dropping today alongside the Gerd Muller. I would guess that it would be one of the 2, or maybe we get both, just like last Friday. This is his official card for Gabriel. 88 pace, 93 defending, 92 physical, with Jockey Plus and Anticipate Plus. For a card like him, who's tall, kind of a big body center back in game, I really haven't used Gabriel this year, but I've definitely played against him. I maybe actually used the gold card for a little bit at the beginning of the game. This is a card that is really going to benefit from Jockey Plus. Really interested to see how he plays. He didn't even have Jockey on this version, the Trailblazers version here, so I'm really interested to see how that card ends up playing in game, and I really want to know what the price of this SBC is, because the Trailblazers version from way earlier in the game is still 200k for Gabriel. This one might end up being kind of expensive. It might be like a 750,000 coin SBC, but that's an SBC that I think I could be interested in, depending on the rest of the playstyles that the card has. Now, Gabriel's Trailblazer card here has got Pinged, Anticipate, Bruiser, and Power Header. Of course, his gold card is Bruiser Plus, and so does this Inform. So hopefully he would have Bruiser regular. Maybe they would add the Intercept in there as well. He already has Defender Plus Plus, so that's looking pretty good. This could really be a great SBC, guys. It could be. It has all the workings of being a very meta center back in game. It just comes down to the price, and is it going to be worth it adding a guy like this via SBC fodder to your team instead of maybe somebody you already have? Like, there's a lot of great budget SBCs and players in general on the market and SBCs. Evos, right, for their Kaiser Evo that came out. We've got a lot of center backs recently, and that's why a lot of their prices have tanked. Ruben Diaz is back up. He was 190K last weekend after the crazy Evos that we got, right? The huge center back market crash last weekend was all caused by the Upamecano, the Ben White, the Der Kaiser Evo. So we're getting another center back. Does that maybe detract a little bit of the hype from this SBC because we've had some crazy CBs recently, or is this one good enough to actually warrant some hype? I think that's really what I want to know today. What's the price and what are the play styles to make that card kind of stick out to me and make me want to actually do it? Now, with that being said, I think for center back prices, we got to be careful. I mean, I was trading some center backs yesterday, but with the potential Evo stuff for center backs and now SBC included in there as well, we got to be careful. Now, we don't know for sure that Gabriel's coming today. We also have the leak here for Philip Lahm, who's only 2 playstyle pluses, but with a 3 playstyle plus player in Muller and the Gabriel leaked, I think both of those are going to be delayed. That's just my guess. But this Lahm will be coming at some point later on during the weekend. Lahm can play right back, left back, and CDM unless they add or maybe take away positions for this card for him. He's got anticipated long ball. He could be a decent center defensive mid. Maybe they add center mid position to him as well, which would be cool. Lahm's always pretty good in games, so don't write this one off because of the only 80 physical. He's always really solid in game, plays above his stats for sure. I've used him in plenty of FIFAs past, and he is very good, but I do not think that's hype enough to be a Promo Friday SBC. We will see. That's just my guess there, but those are the SBCs that we have leaked right now, and as we take a look at SBC fodder, guys, I really think it's just going to probably go down. You could see a little bit of a rise today with more SBCs coming out, but who's going to want to spend a lot of coins on a Gerd Muller that looks like this out of pocket? And maybe a little bit of people want to spend some coins on Gabriel, but I don't think either of these two SBCs, even the Lahm, should be expensive enough to make 91s and 92s go higher in price. The real demand for those cards is still the Ruud Gullit. But these cards, I mean, 87K right now for Harry Maguire, 84 to 85K, 89K for Angera right there. The 92s are going up, but I really do believe that by the time we get to next week with the next promo that is coming out and with the maybe lack of demand as more people who are finishing Gullit don't need to buy the high rated fodder, and that's kind of ending, I just feel like fodder is probably not going to stay this high for super long, and I don't expect it to really go up a whole bunch today because the SBCs don't look that crazy. Now let's talk about Evos again, and this is the leak that we had just recently as well. This is not from FutAccountant, but it's from a guy who's leaked a lot of Evos. I just feel like there's going to be more Evo leaks coming today, so keep a close eye out for that. He says big evolutions are coming. Does that mean a big evolution as in like another 500K type of evolution? I mean, when we had the 500K Evo during Team of the Year, it's not like EA dropped another one right after that, but we did have the Team of the Year center back Evo during Team of the Year, and we also had Team of the Year Blueprint, so they gave us a striker, Strike Force. Are they going to give us another big evolution for, yet again, another center back boost? If they're giving us 3 playstyle plus attackers, they got to give us a 3 playstyle plus defender Evo at some point, right? To kind of counteract the insane attackers that they just gave us. I don't know. So that's really where my questions arise today. Are we getting big Evos today? Is it going to be later on during the weekend? And what is that going to do to the market? With the center back leaks that we do have, I would be clear, stay clear, and be careful of trading center back cards. I bought a VVD yesterday for $750, sold them for $837. I sold up on the Pavards that I bought for $200 earlier in the week. I even bought a couple of Desai's yesterday on stream for like $175 to $177. And I sold them for $190 just to get them out. Also flipped a couple of Beckenbauers. I have a couple more of those to sell as he was going from $400 up to $480. But I don't want to mess with any of that today. I don't want to mess with any of those center backs if we're going to have big center back Evos. So I think we're going to be really attentive to the leaks that we see today. And I would probably not mess with strikers too much either with the Gerd Muller, because if that card's cheap, once again, even though it may not be the most hype, I think that could still hurt some prices. So when I look at this team of Dreamchasers Team 1, I still feel like there's potential that these cards could go up. A lot of them have risen. I bought a Harry Kane yesterday to try out in Rivals. I still have him. I bought him at 1.21. He's now 1.32, rising up very nicely. Marcus Llorente is up. I see here that Wanyeri is now 350,000 coins. He was 320 yesterday. Puteus is up. Payor is up. A lot of the cards in these Dream Chasers promo team number 1 are starting to go up a little bit because they are rare. And I think that could continue. It just depends on if we get another big paid Evo today. The SBCs don't look that hype, but you know, Friday Night Bubble is a true thing. And if these cards go out of packs and they're super rare, and the new promo team today is really expensive because it's also unpackable, then these cards could continue to go up, and so could the rest of the market. I think it really comes down to what Evo content do we get today. Does it surprise like last week? Does it crash the market in some areas like it did last week? But really be careful with center backs, be careful with strikers. If you're going to trade today, right backs, left backs, and maybe midfielders too. Unless we have an Evo for any of those positions, it's really just going to have to be a wait and see sort of situation. I am not going to risk it today. I'm going to be taking my coins on everything that I have, except for the Harry Kane. I am going to hold on to the Harry Kane card, and we'll just have to see what sort of leaks we get for today and what sort of content we are going to be getting. And we'll just have to kind of fly by the seat of our pants, as they say, and just see what sort of content we get today and kind of go with that. But guys, always remember, Friday nights, the Friday night bubble is usually a really high time for the market for meta cards. Good time to sell, unless you're just like holding on to something because you don't care about losing a few coins for your team for Weekend League. It's always a good time to sell because that's when most people are buying to finish and play their FUT Champs games. So that's what to look forward to today for Dreamchasers Team number 2. EA, do something special today, man. We still have not heard some of the things about that pack that we looked at yesterday, a 90x2 co-op objective pack, squad maintenance something or other, foundations. We still don't know what these super sub items are about. They added them into the game with the new update for this latest season, this latest title update. We've heard nothing about that. I want to see what surprises EA have in store for us, or maybe there's not that many, and the surprises are coming later next week. We'll talk about it, of course, today on stream. If you want to see us live, that link is down below in the description, or just come back here to the YouTube channel about an hour and a half or so before content will be live. You're streaming everything for UEFA Dream Chasers Team 2. If you enjoyed this video, drop a thumbs up on it, comment down below if you have any questions, and of course, subscribe if you're new. It's been TheFutAccountant. Have a great Friday and a great weekend. I will see you in the stream today. Peace.